Most men will never uncover the real truth about what truly drives women. Not because they don't care or aren't trying hard enough, but because society has fed them a false narrative about what women really want and how they think. The reality is this: understanding women means recognizing their hidden vulnerabilities, not to take advantage of them, but to finally take control of your own life and relationships. Today, I'm going to expose 5 deeply ingrained weaknesses that every man must master. By the end of this video, you won't just be aware of them, you'll know exactly how to use this knowledge to become the kind of man every woman respects, desires, and can't resist. If you've ever felt like you're constantly a step behind in your relationships, this is for you. If you've ever been confused by the disconnect between what women say and what they actually do, know that you're not alone. Women aren't impossible to understand, but their behaviors are often driven by forces they themselves won't openly admit. Once you grasp these hidden truths, you'll unlock a level of confidence you've never experienced before. More importantly, you'll stop making the mistakes that unknowingly push women away. This isn't about manipulation or playing games, it's about understanding the psychology that drives female behavior and using it to become the strong, decisive man you were always meant to be. Let's dive in. Number 1. Emotional validation is her greatest weakness. Women are deeply emotional beings, and that's not a flaw, it's their strength. Their emotions shape their decisions, deepen their connections, and color how they see the world. The truth is, most men fail to recognize that emotional validation isn't just helpful, it's essential. It's not a luxury or an extra, it's the foundation of any meaningful connection, whether it's a casual conversation, a budding romance, or a lifelong partnership. Without it, you're just another guy she can forget. With it, you become unforgettable, the man who lingers in her thoughts long after the conversation ends. When a woman feels emotionally validated, her defenses drop. She begins to see you as more than just someone to talk to. You become her sanctuary, her safe space, the person she trusts when everything else feels overwhelming. The problem? Most men don't provide this because they're trapped in their own logic. They hear her vent and instinctively try to fix the issue. They think they're being helpful, offering solutions, but to her, it feels like they're missing the point entirely. She doesn't need a problem solver, she needs someone who truly listens, someone who acknowledges what she feels without trying to control it. Picture this: she comes home frustrated because her boss overlooked her hard work. Most men will respond with, "Just ignore it," or "Don't let it bother you." What does that do? It dismisses her feelings, making her feel unheard and unimportant. But if you say, "That sounds really frustrating," you put in so much effort, and it's tough when it goes unrecognized. Everything shifts. In that moment, she feels understood in a way most men never make her feel. That's when she starts to feel closer to you. Validation doesn't mean agreeing with everything she says or pretending she's always right. It means recognizing that her emotions are real, even if they don't make sense to you. Women often process feelings differently than men do, but dismissing them only creates distance. If you acknowledge them, you earn her trust. Think about the last time a woman was upset over something that seemed small to you, or maybe a passing comment from a friend or a minor inconvenience. Instead of saying, "You're overreacting," try, "I can see why that upset you. That must have been frustrating." Watch how she softens. In that moment, she feels like you're on her side, like you understand her in a way most men don't. That's where real connection happens. But emotional validation isn't just about words, it's about presence. It's how you listen, how you react, and how much attention you give. When she's speaking, put your phone down, look her in the eyes, and nod when she's talking. These small gestures tell her she has your full attention, and that's worth more than any advice you could give. Let's be clear, validation isn't weakness. It's not about bending to her emotions or losing yourself, it's about showing that you accept her fully. And when a woman feels accepted, her attraction to you deepens in ways you can't imagine. There's a reason why so many women say, "I just want someone who listens." Most men are too caught up waiting for their turn to speak or dismissing what she feels, but the man who listens? He's the one she respects, admires, and wants to be close to. However, don't mistake validation for being passive. It's not about being a pushover, it's about being strong enough to hold space for her emotions without letting them overwhelm you. A man who can validate a woman's feelings while maintaining his own composure is a man who commands respect. He's a man who knows his worth and isn't afraid to show empathy. Some men think this sounds weak, like it's catering to her emotions at the cost of their own, but here's the real question. What's more powerful, ignoring her feelings and creating distance, or validating them and building a connection that makes her crave your presence? Strength isn't about shutting down emotions, it's about knowing how to handle them with confidence. Here's another example. She's venting about an argument with a friend. Most men will rush to fix it or downplay it. But if instead you say, "It sounds like that conversation really hurt you. I can see why it's been bothering you." You're not just acknowledging her feelings, you're showing her that you truly care about her experience. That's what makes a man irreplaceable. Validation isn't just a skill, it's a mindset. It's the realization that emotions aren't problems to be solved, but opportunities to connect. When you embrace this, everything changes. She opens up to you in ways she never has before. She trusts you more, respects you more, and desires you more. Women don't need perfection. They need presence. They need a man who doesn't run from emotions, doesn't shut down, and doesn't try to control what she feels. When you become that man, relationships stop feeling like a struggle. They become effortless, fulfilling, and deeply rewarding. Number 2, she's obsessed with being understood. A woman's deepest fear isn't rejection or being left behind, it's feeling misunderstood. This desire to be truly seen and heard influences nearly every conversation, every disagreement, and every emotional response she has. If you've ever found yourself in an argument that seemed to come out of nowhere, chances are it wasn't about the words you said, it was about how you made her feel. Women long for connection, but at the core of that connection is the need to feel understood. If she senses that you don't get her, she may withdraw, create conflict, or even start seeking someone who will. When she says, "You don't listen to me," what she truly means is, "You don't see me." And nothing wounds her more deeply than feeling invisible to the person she values most. This is where many men fail, not because they don't care, but because they focus on the words rather than the emotions behind them. They become defensive, argue facts, or try to rationalize things, not realizing that they're falling into a trap of their own making. For women, being understood isn't just a preference, it's a fundamental need. And if you don't meet that need, no amount of gifts, compliments, or grand gestures will make up for it. She will still feel like something is missing, like you're not the man she thought you were. However, when you do make her feel understood, you create a bond so deep that no one else can replace you. Understanding her doesn't mean always agreeing with her. It doesn't mean abandoning your own perspective or letting her dictate everything. It means truly listening, not just to her words, but to the emotions behind them. It means showing her that what she feels matters to you, even if you don't personally relate to it. For instance, if she confides in you about a conflict with a friend and says, "I feel like she's always dismissing me," most men respond with, "You're overthinking it," or "She probably didn't mean it that way." In doing so, they unknowingly validate her worst fear, that she isn't being heard. But if instead, you say, "It sounds like that really hurt you, like you feel unappreciated in that friendship, you've just done something most men don't, you've shown her that you truly see her." That small moment of validation can transform your relationship. Now, let's take it a step further. When a woman shares her frustrations, she's not just venting, she's testing you. She's unconsciously checking to see if you're the kind of man who can handle her emotions, who can stand strong and make her feel safe. If you fail that test by dismissing her, arguing, or avoiding the conversation, she'll start to lose respect for you. She may not even realize it at first, but over time, that lack of emotional connection will erode her attraction to you. But if you pass the test, if you listen, acknowledge her feelings, and show her that she's understood, she'll develop a connection with you that's stronger than anything she's ever felt before. And here's the key, her need to be understood isn't just about major conversations or emotional conflicts. It's present in the small, everyday moments too. It's about how you react when she tells you about her day. It's about whether you notice when she's feeling off, even if she doesn't say anything. It's about whether you remember the little things that matter to her, even if they seem unimportant to you. For example, if she mentions that she's nervous about an upcoming work meeting, an average guy will say, "You'll do fine," and move on. But a man who truly understands her will take a moment to ask, "What's making you nervous?" He'll acknowledge her feelings, remind her of her strengths, and in doing so, he'll show her that he truly sees her not just as a woman, but as a human being with fears, ambitions, and vulnerabilities. This is what separates men who deeply connect with women from those who don't. Most men treat women like puzzles, searching for the right words or actions to get the response they want. But women aren't puzzles, they're people. And more than anything, they want to feel seen, heard, and understood. When you can give her that, you become unforgettable. But don't mistake understanding for weakness. Being a man who truly gets women doesn't mean letting emotions dictate your life. It doesn't mean sacrificing your own boundaries or losing yourself in her emotions. It means being strong enough to hold space for her feelings without being consumed by them. It means proving that you can handle her at her most emotional without losing your composure. Most men crumble when faced with a woman's emotions. They either shut down, get defensive, or rush to fix the problem just to make it go away. But a truly strong man remains calm. He listens. He responds with clarity and confidence. He doesn't allow emotions to control him, but he also doesn't dismiss them. He masters the balance between understanding her and standing firm in who he is. And that balance? That's what makes him irresistible. Here's the bottom line: a woman can forgive a lot, mistakes, arguments, even moments of weakness. But she will never forgive feeling misunderstood. If she senses that you don't truly see her for who she is, she'll start to pull away. And once that emotional disconnect sets in, it's nearly impossible to reverse. So don't underestimate the power of understanding. It's not enough to simply hear her words without recognizing the emotions behind them. You can't replace true connection with superficial gestures. If you want to build something real, something lasting, you need to show her that you understand her, not just as a woman, but as a person. This doesn't mean you have to be perfect. It doesn't mean you'll always know exactly what to say or do. But it does mean you have to try. You have to be willing to listen, ask questions, and make her feelings matter. And when do you do? The rewards are undeniable. She'll trust you more. She'll open up in ways she's never opened up before. She'll rely on you in a way she's never relied on anyone else. Understanding isn't just a skill, it's a mindset. It's about shifting your perspective and realizing that her emotions aren't problems to be solved. They're opportunities to connect. And when you embrace that mindset, everything changes. She'll look at you differently. She'll feel differently about you. She'll see you as the man who gets her, the one she can't replace. And once you have that place in her heart, no one else can take it from you. Number 3, confidence attracts, but control repels. Confidence is one of the most magnetic qualities a man can possess. It's the silent force that draws people in, commands respect, and sets you apart from the rest. When it comes to attraction, confidence isn't just appealing, it's irresistible. It signals strength, security, and a deep sense of purpose. But here's the catch: the moment confidence shifts into control, it backfires. Instead of inspiring trust and admiration, it creates resistance and fear. If you don't recognize this fine line, you risk sabotaging even your most promising relationships. A woman is naturally drawn to a confident man because he makes her feel safe. Confidence shows her that you can lead, make decisions, and stand firm in who you are. It radiates an energy that says, "I don't need approval, and I go after what I want." But control? That's a different story. When confidence mutates into control, it suffocates her. It strips away her independence and makes her feel like a possession rather than a partner. So how do you walk that line? How do you exude confidence without veering into control? The first step is understanding the difference between leading and dominating. Leading means guiding with strength and clarity while respecting her autonomy. Dominating, on the other hand, is about imposing your will, leaving no space for her voice or choices. The former builds trust, the latter destroys it. Imagine this scenario. A confident man says, "Let's try that new sushi place tonight, I think you'll love it." A controlling man says, "We're eating sushi tonight, and that's final." See the difference? In both cases, the man is making a decision, but only one allows room for her to feel valued and respected. Confidence leads with consideration, control leads with selfishness. This balance becomes even more crucial during conflict. Suppose she wants to spend time with her friends on a night you planned a date. A confident man respects her decision and adjusts his plans because he understands that his worth isn't tied to her constant availability. A controlling man, however, pushes back, insisting she change her plans to accommodate his. In doing so, he exposes his insecurity. Control isn't strength, it's fear disguised as dominance, and women can sense it from a mile away. Confidence, on the other hand, remains steady. It doesn't waver in the face of uncertainty. A confident man doesn't feel the need to control everything because he trusts himself to handle whatever comes his way. That kind of energy is magnetic. It draws women in because it makes them feel secure without feeling trapped. They know they can rely on you without losing themselves in the process. But let's go deeper. Confidence isn't just about what you say, it's about how you carry yourself. It's in your body language, the way you hold eye contact, and the tone of your voice. It's in how you handle challenges and setbacks. A confident man doesn't panic when things go wrong, he adapts, stays calm, and moves forward. That's the kind of man a woman wants by her side. Not someone who crumbles under pressure or tries to control every outcome. Now, picture this in a relationship. She's upset because something didn't go her way. A confident man listens, validates her feelings, and offers support. He doesn't try to fix her emotions or dismiss them as unimportant. He simply stands firm, showing her that he can handle her emotions, even at their most intense. A controlling man, however, might try to shut her down, telling her she's overreacting or needs to calm down. In doing so, he reveals his own weakness. Women are incredibly perceptive. They can sense the difference between genuine confidence and insecure bravado. They know when a man is truly secure and when he's overcompensating out of fear. The moment control creeps in, they begin to pull away. Not because they don't want a strong man, but because they want a man who's strong enough to respect their independence. This balance is more important than ever in today's world, where women value their freedom and autonomy. They don't want a man to dominate them, they want a man who complements their strength with his own. They want a partner, not a dictator. And if you can show her that you can lead without controlling, you become the man she can't resist. So how do you cultivate this level of confidence? It starts with truly knowing yourself. A man who is genuinely confident doesn't need to prove his worth to anyone. He doesn't need to control others to feel powerful. He knows his value and stands firm in it. He sets boundaries, makes decisions, and upholds his principles, but he does so with respect and consideration for others. Confidence also means embracing risk. It means stepping outside your comfort zone, facing challenges head-on, and accepting the possibility of failure. It means understanding that your worth isn't tied to an outcome. And when you carry that kind of energy into your relationships, it changes everything. She sees you as the man who can handle anything, the man she can trust to lead without taking away her voice. But let's be clear, confidence isn't arrogance. It's not about acting superior or demanding attention. It's a quiet, unshakable belief in yourself. It's about being secure enough to let her be herself without feeling threatened. It's about creating a space where she can thrive, knowing that you're strong enough to stand beside her, not above her. When you master this balance, women will respond to you in ways they never have before. They'll be drawn to your energy, your presence, and your ability to make them feel both safe and respected. You'll stand out in a world full of men who are either too passive or too controlling. And that's the kind of man who doesn't just attract women, he keeps them. Number 4. Her desire for security is a hidden driver. A woman's need for security isn't merely a superficial wish, it's a profound, primal instinct that shapes her decisions, behaviors, and relationships. This drive for safety is embedded deep within her, a legacy of millennia when survival hinged on aligning with a partner who could offer both stability and protection. Even in our modern age, while the world has evolved, her inherent wiring remains unchanged. That innate yearning for security guides every decision she makes, often beneath the surface of her awareness. But make no mistake, security extends far beyond financial means or material comfort. It encompasses a broader spectrum, reaching into the realms of emotional, mental, and physical well-being. A woman craves the certainty that the man in her life is consistent, reliable, and steadfast. She needs to feel that no matter what turbulence life throws her way, you will be her anchor, the unwavering force she can depend on. If you can embody that role, you'll earn a devotion and loyalty that many only dream about, fall short, and she may begin seeking that security elsewhere, even if she can't pinpoint why. Let's delve into the layers. Emotional security. At its core, emotional security means creating a space where she feels safe to reveal her true self without fear of judgment or rejection. It's about demonstrating that you can navigate her emotions, no matter how intense, with grace and understanding. When she senses that she can share her vulnerabilities and deepest feelings with you, she opens up in ways reserved for those she truly trusts. On the contrary, if she feels compelled to hide parts of herself because she doubts your ability to cope with her emotional landscape, she will gradually retreat. Consider a time when you encountered a woman in distress. Was your response one of calm support, or did you dismiss her feelings? A man who offers emotional security remains composed amid chaos, reassuring her that together you can weather any storm. Mental security. This facet revolves around reliability and consistency. It's not enough to speak promises in the heat of the moment, your actions must reinforce your words. If you commit to something, follow through without fail. Your reliability, whether in keeping plans or honoring commitments, builds a foundation of trust. Picture this: you've set a date, but unforeseen circumstances arise. A man who values mental security communicates transparently, rescheduling thoughtfully to reaffirm her importance in your life. In contrast, last-minute cancellations without explanation can leave her feeling sidelined and uncertain about your commitment. It's about being dependable, not perfect, because while mistakes can be forgiven, inconsistency undermines trust. Physical security. Physical security isn't about having an imposing physique or exuding macho bravado, it's reflected in how you conduct yourself and handle life's challenges. A woman seeks the reassurance that, in your presence, she is shielded not just from external dangers, but from the turmoil that life sometimes presents. She wants to feel protected by a man who stands firm in the face of adversity, whether confronting a difficult situation at work, mediating a personal conflict, or managing unforeseen challenges in daily life. Her observations of your behavior, how you maintain composure under stress and confront issues head-on, are crucial. This is the kind of strength that isn't ostentatious, but deeply rooted in a solid, confident presence. The essence of true security. Ultimately, true security isn't about exerting control or molding her actions to fit a specific mold. It's about fostering an environment where she can grow, take risks, and face her fears, all while knowing you're there to support her. It's about being the man who is grounded in his values and remains unyielding in the face of challenges, creating an aura of stability that naturally attracts her trust and admiration. When you embody this kind of security, offering emotional openness, consistent reliability, and a protective, steady presence, you unlock a depth of connection that transcends physical attraction. A woman will not only see you as a partner, but as her safe haven, her anchor in an unpredictable world. And it's this profound bond that can sustain a relationship for a lifetime. Number 5, she's overwhelmed by her own emotions. Women are profoundly emotional beings, a trait that isn't a flaw, but a core aspect of who they are. Their emotions drive their actions, color their decisions, and shape how they interpret the world. Yet many men overlook that women sometimes have little control over the surging tide of their feelings. They experience emotions with an intensity that can seem alien to most men. When these emotions become overwhelming, it can feel as though she's caught in a storm with no clear direction. This is where your role comes in, not as a savior, but as a steadfast anchor. In those turbulent moments, logic and problem solving take a back seat. She isn't seeking a fix or an immediate solution. What she truly needs is a man who can weather the storm of her feelings without being swept away by them. She needs someone who stands firm and unshaken amidst the flood of her emotions, reassuring her that she can express herself without fear of judgment or rejection. Reflect on those instances when she might have reacted strongly over what seems trivial to you, a missed text or a moment when she felt overlooked. To her, these moments carry weight, rooted in deeper insecurities and hidden fears she may not even fully understand herself. If you dismiss her feelings or respond with irritation, you inadvertently validate her worst fears, that she is not cared for or understood. Conversely, if you remain calm, acknowledge her emotions, and affirm your presence, you become the reliable partner she can lean on when everything feels unmanageable. A woman's inner emotional landscape is intricate, and when it becomes overwhelming, it can feel like a relentless internal storm. She might cry, lash out, or withdraw, and sometimes say things she doesn't truly mean. Remember, it's not about you, it's about her processing emotions too vast to contain. Your role isn't to fix her or instantly make everything better, but rather to be a constant, steady presence, a shelter in the storm. When she vents or cries, avoid the urge to interject with unsolicited advice or to shut down her feelings. Instead, listen intently, allowing her the space to express everything without interruption or judgment. When she's ready, offer simple reassurances like, "I see how much this is affecting you," or "I'm here for you no matter what." These words can make a world of difference, proving you're not intimidated by her emotional intensity. This doesn't mean you let her feelings dictate the entire dynamic of your relationship or that you sacrifice your own boundaries. Being a man who can handle a woman's emotions is not about passivity, it's about balancing strength with sensitivity. It's about maintaining your own stability while giving her the freedom to feel deeply and authentically. Many women have grown accustomed to men who either try to solve everything immediately or who recoil at the first sign of emotional intensity. By contrast, when you remain calm and receptive, you become the exception, the man who doesn't crumble under the weight of her emotions but instead uses these moments to deepen your connection. She will begin to see you as a safe harbor in a chaotic world, the person she can confide in when everything else seems overwhelming. In time, she'll reveal parts of herself that she's kept hidden, knowing that with you, she won't be judged or diminished. This kind of emotional resilience doesn't equate to weakness. Rather, it demonstrates strength, a strength that reassures her and builds a profound, unbreakable bond. The next time her emotions spiral out of control, resist the temptation to fix her or tell her to simply calm down. Instead, stay present, listen, and affirm that you're in this together. By showing her that you can handle her vulnerability without compromising your own stability, you set yourself apart in a world where few truly understand. Ultimately, you become the man she not only admires, but also deeply relies on, the one who stands strong when the emotional storms rage. These 5 so-called weaknesses aren't flaws to be exploited, they're essential truths to grasp. When you master them, you're not just enhancing your relationships, you're transforming into a stronger, more confident man. You move from chasing to leading, from reacting to making decisive choices, and, most importantly, you evolve into the type of man who naturally commands respect, admiration, and desire. If this strikes a chord with you, hit that subscribe button right now. By doing so, you're not only supporting this content, you're also empowering more men to discover the truths that society keeps hidden.